Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. Let's continue our game of Factorio 1.0. Hope you've enjoyed the series so far. In the last episode we got a single line smelting iron. What's up with this one? Oh, okay, it's full. There's just no icon. And it would help us a lot if we had one that was also making copper. But before I do that, I want to reserve space for more of these smelting lines making iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a blueprint. I just hit Control-C to copy. And let's see. I want the grid because I want it to tile. And yeah, we can use this as a blueprint for all of our smelting lines now. And if you wanted to save it, you could edit the name. Call it smelting. Instead of a belt and a furnace, maybe I would change the icon to like a plate and a furnace. Okay, and then we say create blueprint. Now what I would like to do is I would like to have 4 lines of iron, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and then I'm going to put down my first line of copper. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. And then the amount of space that I want to leave is, let's see, 8 tiles. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'll place my copper line. Okay, so that'll be the first copper line. And the reason I want 8 tiles in the middle is so that I can place a path. So I'm actually going to start creating a path. But to do that, we need some stone bricks. And to make stone bricks, I'll just make some stone bricks down here. Okay, we'll do 4. To make stone bricks, we just load stone into a furnace, and it'll turn into stone bricks. I think it takes, what is it, 5 stone? No, 2 stone. 2 stone for a single stone brick. Okay, and there we go. Now we'll need a lot of these, so and at some point we'll actually make a small line that'll make stone bricks for us in larger quantities. But for now, we'll get those. And then once you pick up the stone bricks, it shows you this little 2x2 tile. And then if you use the plus and the minus keys on the numpad, you can increase the size of it. Okay, now I want it to be 4x4, so I'm just going to press plus twice. And then I go 1, 2, and that's where my path is going to be. And we'll have 2 tiles of space on each side. So we'll have a path down the middle that'll help us get around the base a little more easily. Okay, steel axe is done. Let's start to research logistics science pack. This is another science pack. The labs do consume multiple different types, and in many cases they require more than one type at the same time. In fact, in every case except for the red stuff. So I'm going to research logistics science packs now. That'll allow us to get ready to start researching more complicated stuff. And then I'll get some of these other ones out of the way as well. But for now we'll do logistics. Okay, so let's start setting up that iron line. I actually have some red science packs in my inventory. Let's drop those off. Let's put half there and half there. Okay, we need more. I need more copper plate to feed this stuff. hopefully pretty soon we'll get out of all this manual crafting. But we definitely need copper to go along with the iron before we'll be able to do that. So what I'm going to try to do today is set up this copper line and then also get science automated on a larger scale. Okay, so I'll take the electric poles. We'll put some more copper in there as well so we can craft more poles, get more belts. I'm doing okay on ammo right now. Okay, let's go get to work. So this one we're going to set up just like we did the last one. There we can extend our path a bit. That'll build up over time. So again, we're going to have to use this as a guide. But this way we can make sure that everything is consistent. Make sure we don't forget anything. And we can build a little bit quicker when we just follow the blueprint because we don't have to count how many things we're putting down or anything like that. Whoops. Oh, I need more inserters. Okay, let's start making a bunch of those. I'll put down some power poles while I'm waiting for the inserters. Someone asked in the comments about burner inserters on the power line. I mean in the power plant, you know, feeding the boilers. Because I had made a comment that sometimes I don't want to use those, and the question was, well, why wouldn't you just always use them since they don't need power themselves? And the reason is that when you get a lot of power being fed off of the same belt, and you upgrade to a faster belt, for example, like when you go to a red belt instead of a yellow belt, the burner inserters are too slow to keep up with it. And sometimes they just literally can't pick anything off the belt, even though there's material present, just because they don't move fast enough. So that's why I don't always use burner inserters. But you could use both if you wanted to. Like you could put some of the faster inserters for when things are going normally, and then you could, well, I don't know if that would help though, to be honest with you. Because if the belt's too fast, then the belt's too fast. It doesn't matter. Okay, so there's our copper smelting line. We're going to need to get power there. One trick with blueprints is if you run with power poles on a blueprint, it'll automatically drop them where the power poles go, even if it's not maximum distance. So that makes things nice and easy sometimes. Okay, so we're going to need a splitter here so that we can run up with the coal. And then wherever this path goes, I'll place an underground belt so that we don't run over it. Okay, and then I need 15 mining drills, or no, 30 mining drills. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I might not be able to fit 30 mining drills on this little patch here. We'll do our best. I'm going to pick all this up now. Okay, and again, I'm just going to make sure that I don't mix in any iron. Okay. let's just do 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. 12, 13, 14. All right, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Sorry. Just because this copper patch is so small, I want to just cram as much as I can on here. So I'm going to change the layout a little bit, and I think I will overlap with the iron just a little bit. So I'm going to go 2, and then I'll leave a gap like that. Okay, and I'm doing it this way because here I can put power poles there, and it'll power both sides, and that'll allow me to fit these in just a little bit tighter. So we go 2 and then a gap, then 2 and then a gap, right? Because this way I don't need a gap in between these 2 rows. Okay, so I'm not sure how many that is, but hopefully, I mean, it's as much as we can do, pretty much, so it'll have to be enough. And then we'll have to filter out the iron. Okay, so how do we filter out the iron, you may ask? Well, we're going to use a splitter. I'll set the output priority to the left side, and I'll set it to filter for iron ore. And once we clean up that first initial bit, all the iron ore should come out on that side, and then only copper on this side. And then I'm going to merge these 2 belts together. And then this iron, we can... actually, let's come over one more tile. Craft a few more of these splitters, and then we can merge that in there. And I'm going to set the input priority on this side so that I take this iron before I take the iron on this belt. And that's because I don't want iron to back up here, because then these drills won't work anymore. And to help prevent that, the other thing that we can do is we can buffer into a chest. Okay, so we'll just put a couple of inserters there. They can put it into chests. Like that. And that way, if this belt gets backed up, then we'll still be able to drain iron ore from these drills by buffering them into the chests. Actually, let's replace those with iron chests so that we can hold more. Okay. Good. And now we just feed this to our copper smelting line. Almost there. Okay. And then we'll be mass producing plates. Looks like I'm missing a couple power poles on the end down here. I left those out of my blueprint, unfortunately. And I'll have to make the same fix to the others. Okay, good. Making progress. Okay, and we got more bricks. All right, so there's logistic science packs. I would like to get fast inserters. So let's do electronics next. And then we'll do fast inserters. That's that noise is a little different than what I'm used to hearing. I'm not sure I like it very much, to be honest. I guess I'll get used to it. Okay, good. So now let's talk about base design a little bit. If any of you have been playing for any significant length of time, you've probably heard of the concept of a main bus. And basically what a bus is in the central part of the base, we're just going to have a series of belts running the length of the base, carrying all kinds of different materials. And then we will have our various production areas, or little sub-factories, above and below those, and using splitters and underground belts, we'll just pull off whatever material we need from the bus and send some over to our production spaces. And that way for things like copper plates and iron plates, for example, where they're used for many, many different things, it allows us to fairly efficiently distribute that stuff to the base and then just grab them and use them wherever they're required. So that's the basic idea we're going to be following here. All right, so I'm going to make a few assemblers. Let's grab my circuits. Oh, let's get some copper plate, and let's get rid of this copper ore that I've got in my inventory. We don't really need that. There we go. We could buffer some. Actually, I'm not gonna buffer any copper plates. Here's one thing about buffers that I don't really like, especially when it comes to plates that come from ore that comes from the ground. We're eventually going to have access to some research called mining productivity. Let me look for it. Okay, here's level 1, for example. So mining productivity number 1, that's going to give us a 10% productivity boost in mining. What that means is that we'll get 10% more ore out of the ground than we will without having that research, right? So for every 10 bits of ore that we get out of the ground, we're going to get one free one with a 10% increase. And as you can see, there are multiple levels to this, and each level gives us another 10%. So buffering ores or buffering plates that are made from ores, in a way, prevents you from getting those productivity bonuses. Right? It's more valuable to have the ore sitting in the ground and getting the product so that when you have the product, so that you don't mine it too early. Because if I mine it early without the productivity bonus, I'm getting some percentage less than I could if I just waited and mined it later when I have the productivity bonus. So all I'm saying is, mine what you need to make what you need right now, but don't just mine stuff and store the ore in boxes, because then you're just missing out on a productivity bonus and you're just going to mine out your patch sooner. It's not going to help you. Okay, so that's why I typically don't buffer a lot of plates or ore specifically. Okay, I want to make more of those circuits for sure. So let's put some more copper in there. Let's put some more copper in there and get some of those sweet, sweet green circuits. Okay, so now we can start to put together a little bit of a main bus. And I think I'll run the main bus below this pathway and then we'll have production areas up above it. So I'm going to leave a nice bit of space in front. We'll leave 2 tiles of space, and then we'll have 4 belts of copper. This way we can just run the copper down to there. 4 belts of iron, 4 belts of other stuff, another 4 belts of another stuff. And we do these in groups of 4 because that way if I'm trying to run some material from down here up to this side with yellow underground belts, it's just long enough to jump over 4 belts, or to jump over 4 tiles. So that makes it easy to move things around. Okay. So this will be our basic setup. So we can start this by, we'll come out a little bit, we'll jump over the path. All right, and that'll be our first line of copper. Eventually we'll have more, but that's the first one. And then we'll run our iron up here. Yeah, I'm just going to overwrite that stuff. We don't need it all right now. And that'll be our line of iron plate. We'll extend the path a little bit with that kind of jalopy sort of a sound. It sounds like an old diesel tractor running or something. Yeah, let's get fast inserters. We definitely need that. And we definitely need faster assembly machines from automation too. Okay. And then we'll make our first production area up here. So, like I always say, leave yourself some room. So let's say I'll always leave 6 tiles before I place my first machine. And that way I have lots of room between the path and my production area that I can run belts around or power poles or put roboports later, you know, whatever. I like to leave lots of space. And don't worry about using a lot of space, because yeah, there's water on the map, but you can fill it in. There are cliffs, but we can blow them up. And the map is essentially infinite. The farther you go, the bigger the map gets. So you're never going to run out of space. Okay. So what I'd like to do is make red science. If we look at the recipe, my goal here for this, you know, for our little starter base, you could say, is to make 1 science pack per second. Or 1 science pack per canonical second, I guess you could say. So where it says 5 seconds crafting time, if I want 1 per second crafting time, then I'm going to need 5 machines running simultaneously, right? That'll give me 5 every 5 seconds, which averages out to 1 per second. Now, it's not really going to be 1 per second because these machines have a crafting speed of 0.5, but we're going to ignore that for now. Okay, so I'm just going to put 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those are going to make red science packs. This early in the game, you could even double it up, but honestly, I find that 1 per second is fast enough for me to get research done at least as fast as I need it. Otherwise, I'm just doing lots of research for stuff that I'm not going to use for, you know, until 5 hours later. So this is fast enough for me. And then I'm going to leave a space of 3 tiles, and we'll put another row making logistic science packs. Now these have a crafting time of 6 seconds. So for these, I'm going to need 6 of them. Okay. So 6 greens, 6 reds. And then we're going to output those onto opposite sides of the same belt, and we'll run them up to our labs. Okay. Now these need gears and copper plates. Copper plates are easy enough, but the gears, we know that the crafting speed for a gear is a half a second. And so if I need 1 1 gear for each of these machines every 5 seconds, that means I need 1 gear per second, right? Because I need to feed 5 machines every 5 seconds with 1 gear each. So I need 1 gear per second, just like I need 1 copper plate per second. We have a full belt of copper plates. That's 15 a second. So there's no problem on the copper plates. There's no problem on the iron plates. And for the gears, as long as I make 1 per second, I'm good. So actually, let's put a machine right here. See, good thing I left all that space. And I'll have 1 machine making gear wheels, because that'll actually make 2 per second if I want. So this will give me more than enough gears to keep these science machines fed. Okay. And so what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to output from this machine. I'm going to want to use fast inserters here. Let's wait for this research to finish real quick. I'll go down and grab some gears and circuits. Okay, beautiful. And then we'll research automation 2, which will give us faster assembly machines, which have a crafting speed of 0.75, which is 50% faster than the ones that we're using right now. And then we'll eventually just, when those are ready, we'll replace all these with those. Okay. So let's craft some of those fast inserters. Fast inserters take yellow inserters or normal regular inserters as an ingredient, as you can see, but they move a little bit more than twice as fast. So they're good for high-speed machines like this one. Okay, and I usually place those in slot 4. Okay, so this one, we're going to bring in an iron plate. Here, I'll take in the iron plate from here. Whoops. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so we'll take an iron plate. So to get it off of our bus without sending all the iron plate that way, I'm just going to place a splitter. So that'll split off some of the iron plates, and then I'll jump over the copper lines, which will be there eventually. And that'll feed iron up to this machine to make the gear wheels. And then this is going to throw them on the left side of this belt. And then it would be nice if I could have copper plate on the inside of the belt. So I'm going to do that this way. Okay, so here I'm just going to bring it up on this belt and then side load it to the inside. And then the gears will go on the outside. And then we'll have gears and iron plates being provided to all these machines. Okay. So we'll just have yellow inserters in, yellow inserters out, and we're good to go. Now we just need to power this up. And I think I'll get the power from here. There. So here come our gears. And then the assembly machines will just start gobbling up the gears. Eventually it'll back up a little bit with gears. Once they all get their fill and start producing, and then we're making red science packs. Okay, now automation's not researching yet because I don't have green science packs running. So let's do heavy armor while we're waiting to get that rolling. Okay, so that's bulk red science. And I'm going to start, I think I'm going to need a few more of these machines, and then I'm going to start handcrafting 20, yeah, we'll start with 20 labs. Okay, now these need inserters and belts as ingredients. So that's a little more complicated recipe, right? the basic layout is the same. We're gonna pull them off of belts and then put our production onto this belt here in the middle. All right, I'm gonna have to wait till I get my inserters. The good news is that with this, we'll be automating inserter production, and that will make life better for everybody involved. How are we doing on gears? I need more gears. I'm gonna get more belts. Okay. Oh, I don't need that there. I do need them there, and I need one there. Okay, so how do we get... Well, belts we already know how to get, right? And again, we just need 1 belt per second. And they have a crafting speed of 0.5, and we get 2. So a single machine making belts will do the trick for us. All right. And as a matter of fact, let's bring this down. And what I'm going to do is we're going to buffer them in here. Again, a stack of 4, let's say. And then we'll place them onto the belt. And then for this, of course, we need a machine making gears. So there's a machine making gears. All right. I'm also going to need gears for the inserters. And inserters take iron plates, gears, and green circuits. Okay, and we're not automating green circuits yet, so that's something that we'll have to do here shortly. These are going to take in iron plates. This is going to take an iron plate. Okay, iron plates from this belt that is coming soon from our bus. Okay, just got to make sure we put the splitter in the right place, and there we go. Now we got iron plates. Let's start powering some of this stuff up. And let's throw in some lamps so that we can see everything. Oh, that's much better. Okay, and now we're making belts. And eventually this will back up and we'll collect them there so that we can grab them when we need more. Okay, so now we got belts. We've got plates. Now we need green circuits. So let's make green circuits. Insert those in there. The green circuits also need iron plates. So it's a good thing we're feeding iron plates up here. And then these also need the copper cables, as we all know. And I'm going to put 2 machines there. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to put 1 machine making copper cables. And to feed it, I'm going to put 1 fast inserter and 1 regular inserter. And that'll be fast enough to feed this as fast as they can be made. But now we need to get some copper up there. Okay, so here's a little trick, right? Because I've already got copper fed up on half a belt here. And it would be cool if I could just allow that half a belt to continue over here. And that way I won't have to run up another belt from the bus. Like a whole belt of copper up here just to get to that 1 machine. So what I can do is I'm going to put an underground belt and I'm going to rotate it so that the open side of the underground is on the side of the belt that copper is. Okay. Now in this case, it's feeding into the hood here and I want it to come out. So I'm just going to hover over it and press R to reverse the direction. And what this does is the hood blocks what's ever on the downward side, and it'll allow whatever's on the open side to get to side load. So this is a good way that you can pull stuff off of half a belt. Okay, and then I can just bring it over here. Oops. There. Okay. Now the problem I have is now I'm making inserters way down here, and I need him to get on the belt over here. I didn't really think of that. You might say that that's a screw up. I could tear it down and rebuild it all and reposition everything. That was really stupid. Okay, let's do this. I'll put an underground belt there, and that'll give us some space. Okay, and then this is going to go into a box because I want to buffer some of these. Yeah, let's buffer 4 stacks at a time. Let's make another fast one. Some more fast ones, rather. Okay. And then we'll side load here so that they can run down the entire line of blue science packs. All right, and we'll just pretend that I meant to do that, if everyone's all right with that. Okay, so now we're making red and green science packs automagically. So we can take up this stuff. We won't use this anymore. This as well, honestly. We don't need to make belts down here since we're going to make them up there from now on. I'll leave the rest of it for now. Okay, and let's go ahead and extend the copper line down so that we're even Steven. Okay. And so these machines are all producing. You can tell because of the gear animation on top. That's how you know the machine is working. And if it's working, then you know that it's getting ingredients and all is well. Okay, so let's set up our labs. I've got 22 labs here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over by 2 tiles. And then I'll make 2 rows of 11. Or no, let's make, you know what, let's, 1, 2, 3, that was 22. Let's make 30 labs. So we'll make 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll make 8 more. And we'll do 3 rows of 10. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, I got just enough space. And 1 space. There. So that's 30 labs. Now I'm going to need some long inserters. I'm not sure if I talked about these yet. These are like regular inserters, but they're a little bit faster. And they can move 2 tiles in each direction. Whoops. So these need to go there, actually. Okay. Let's go get some more yellow inserters, if there are any. There are not, so I'm just going to steal them from my production line. Thanks. because we're going to need another 20 of those. Okay. And then we feed this belt all the way down. And we give it some power. Okay, heavy armor's finished, so now let's do automation 2. And now that we have all these machines and all these labs, you can see that the research goes by much more quickly. Okay. And then when we get automation 2 done, we're going to need some steel in order to make those faster assembly machines. That was fast, right? Yeah, because assembly machine 2s require steel plate. So I'm going to handcraft some steel. Let's do walls. That'll unlock some other research. Oh, geez, that was fast. We can do weapon shooting speed and projectile damage upgrades. All right, so let's start. I'm just going to set up some furnaces here. I'll grab some coal, and I'm just going to get a few steel plates going so that I can use those to upgrade some of those assembly machines. Let's get more coal than that. Okay. And then I'll just load these all with stacks of iron plates. So iron plates in a furnace give you steel plates. And it takes five iron plates to make 1 steel plate. 16-second crafting time. Okay, so with that, I can craft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get more gears. Let's load up these circuits again. One, two, three, 4. Okay, so the machines I want to upgrade first are this one, and this one, and this one, because I would like to get inserters out faster. Now this one I'm not going to upgrade because a blue machine making copper cable is just fast enough to feed a gray machine making electronic circuits. Because it's 50% faster, as I said, you get 2 copper cables per cycle. And since you need 3 per cycle of the green circuit machine, that extra 50% speed basically just allows you to get 3 in time for this thing to run almost nonstop. Okay, then we'll do damage upgrade. And then hopefully we'll start making these fast enough that I can accumulate some in the box. Okay, let's get more steel. Let's get more iron plate. Let's get more circuits. More gear wheels. Yeah. Now I can make a bunch of them. Okay. So we'll upgrade those. We'll upgrade those. Better upgrade those too. That one we're going to leave alone. Yeah. And we're good. And this one is fast enough like that. All right. before we finish up today, let's get some more power production. Where's our power plant? Oh yeah, let's make a lot more. So let's go, I only have enough for 5. I guess I need stone. Alright, so let's get some more stone. Let's get more coal for our drills here. Okay. So that was 5. Let's just make 14. Or no, 16. 5, 10, 15, 16. Because I got 4 steam engines now, with 16 more I can make a full line. And then I'll need 32 steam engines. Let's get as many gears as we can here. So there's 14. 15, 20, 25, 30, 1, 2. And then I'll need a few handfuls of pipe. I'll need more belt, and I'll need more inserters. No, I got plenty of belts. Okay. Let's do military 2. That gives us better ammo and also hand grenades. Hand grenades are great for clearing trees as long as you don't need the wood, because it just destroys the trees. It doesn't it doesn't turn them into wood that you can pick up later. All right. We'll do landfill. So this is the stuff that allows you to get rid of water if it's getting in your way. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and it looks like I may be just short of enough room here. Ugh. Okay, I know what we can do. We'll just shorten this. There. I made too many of those. I only need 16. There we go. Okay, so let's just put down the rest of these. And then we'll have to move our belt. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then I've got some extra pipe. Okay, and now we're making lots and lots of power. Yeah, 38.4 megawatts is what we can make now, and we've got we're using much less than that, so we're in good shape. Let's get tool belt next. That'll give us more inventory slots. Okay, so now we got a little bit of steel plate. We'll have to build a steel line before we get too much further. Do I have any wood? No. I do have a lot of stone though. Well, let's just make furnaces with it. Okay, and our science is coming along just fine. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for today. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.